Hello friends, thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel. I'm super excited to share with you this week's meal prep, personally because I've been craving the lunch burrito all last week. And also I've noticed that being mostly plant-based, it's been really difficult for me to always make sure that I'm getting a sufficient amount of protein. You don't ever want to go above and beyond the amount of protein that you need, but this week I just wanted to make sure that I had 3 simple, quick, easy, affordable meal prep meals that will have added up together all of the protein that you will need in one day. So thank you guys so much for being here. If you want to go ahead and subscribe, please do that now. And also, if you guys want more meal prep videos, let me know in the comment section below. Let's get started. So I'll go ahead and try to round to what this would cost at the grocery store to give you a good idea. I'll go ahead and pop that up here. But also another way to cut down on pricing is to go ahead and make all of your beans from dried beans. That's something that you can do and prepare maybe even the day before you start on your meal prep so that you don't have extra tasks the day of. So first I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make the smoothie recipe, and then we'll head into the steps in the actual meal prep for the rest of the week. Okay, so I want to teach you guys kind of the trick of smoothie making, which is to literally just eyeball it. So I'm using frozen mango for this one, but you can really use any fruit that you like. This smoothie is going to make enough for 2 people, a really tall smoothie, but you can also drink some of your smoothie in the morning, save it in a thermos, and then just drink it throughout the day, and it's a really nice refreshing beverage that you can keep sipping on. This is going to be 1 cup of spinach, 2 cups of spinach. There's also protein here in this yogurt, and if you're like me and you do gym every morning, you're going to burn off some of your protein, so I don't think it's too bad just to have a little bit of extra, but just not too much. So I'll just do 1 scoop, maybe 2 big scoops. I don't like tons of yogurt in mine, but it does really help the smoothie stick together. I like to go ahead and add some oat milk next. Just go ahead and eyeball just some. And then if I need to add more liquid, I'll usually add just some water. Since I feel like it's a little harder to eyeball chia seeds, I'm gonna go ahead and use my tablespoon. So 1 and 2, and now 3 tablespoons of hemp. I love a smoothie in the morning just because I feel like it's really hard to stay hydrated, especially when you're busy throughout the week. And the smoothies are a great way to just start your day off just with some extra liquid. And it's a lot of vitamins, a lot of nutrients, a lot of fiber, a lot of just great energy to start your day. Now on to the meal prep. So we're gonna start off washing everything, then we're gonna go to cutting everything. We're gonna go ahead and preheat the oven, then we're gonna bake. So it's not gonna be too difficult, and I always say with meal prep, it takes a lot of extra time investment at the beginning of the week. You might have one day that's kind of a half day dedicated to that. Have a different day that maybe your partner grocery shops or you grocery shop, and so that you kind of just have it in separate days so it's not too much all in once. But ultimately it ends up saving you a lot of time and money in the long run whenever you have all these great recipes, great meals just throughout the week that you can eat. You can switch it up. If you end up not eating everything, lots of times you can pop it into the freezer and then save it for another week. So yeah, I'm a big fan of meal prep. I try to do that on Sundays, and usually Stephen will grocery shop on Saturday so that all of our ingredients are nice and fresh. Yeah. Also, I forgot to include this bag of potatoes and sweet potatoes in the initial haul. So these are also going to be used in this week's meal prep. And I love a good time-saving hack. So this is a really great dicer, not really sure. It's Full Star. You can find them at the grocery store. It has these kind of like little inserts for different things you can chop up. It's great. So up next is tofu. We're just gonna go ahead and rinse this, drain it, and pat it dry the best we can before we start with our sauce that we're gonna put on it before we pop it in the oven. So I thought that I had sriracha here at the house, but I actually do not. So I'm gonna go ahead and improvise using just some like chili paste. And for aluminum foil, you can also buy some 100% recycled aluminum foil. We got ours from Target. So we'll go ahead and pop these into the oven at 425 for 60 to 70 minutes, maybe longer if they need it. What's gonna take us around 40 minutes to bake is gonna be our squares of potatoes for the burritos. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop those in now, and then that way I can take them out early. If they need some like extra time to bake, they can. Before those go in, we'll go ahead and put some olive oil and just some salt and pepper to season them. Up next, we're going to rinse and drain our chickpeas, and then we'll pat them dry and season them. This time we're going to do a Italian style seasoning. It's going to go really well with the kale and with the sweet potatoes. This is definitely like one of my all-time favorite meal prep dinners because I just like want it night after night after night. It's super good, it's super nutritious, and just like very simple to make also. So next I'm just gonna go ahead and get a jump start on the tofu. I'm just gonna dump all of this on a pan. Make sure none of them are on top of each other so they get nice and crisp. We're just gonna put this in for 10 minutes and then we'll flip it and then we'll put it in for another 10 minutes. So at this point, my oven is pretty full of food. Everything fits in it nice and snug. So to cook the chickpeas, we're just gonna go ahead and saute those in a wok. All right, get these all nice and dry. So to keep things nice and simple, I'm just gonna use an Italian seasoning that has stuff like thyme, oregano, basil, and we'll just like use this exclusively. Pour some olive oil over the top before you start. And just shake as much as you like, seasoning wise. I think that with chickpeas you can be like pretty good with the seasoning. I feel like they, it's hard to get them like too seasoned. A pinch of salt there. So you can just go ahead next and saute these with a wok or a pan. You'll just cook them for like 5 to 7 minutes over medium-high heat until they're blistered, and then you'll go ahead and let them cool off. So while we're waiting for the wok to heat up, and then once we cook our chickpeas, or while we're cooking our chickpeas, I'm gonna go ahead and chop up our kale and go ahead and put that into storage for the sweet potatoes for dinner. So when it comes to cutting your kale up, you just want to be sure the main thing is to cut on the outside of the vein and don't include this. It's really gnarly to eat, so you just want to kind of clip that away and you'll have the nice leafy parts. And then once you do that, just keep chopping it down till it's kind of like in smaller bits, and then we're going to start massaging it. The number one thing is to make sure that it's deveined and it's really well massaged. Whenever I'm cooking them in bulk because it's just way easier, but you can feel free to not use a wok and just use a regular pan. You might want to also cook them in 2 batches. That would make it easier, and it only takes like 5 to 7 minutes for it to blister, so not a big deal if you just need to do that in 2 batches. So when it comes to massaging kale, I always go above and beyond because there's really nothing, in my opinion, worse than when you don't massage your kale enough, but then you go ahead and like put it in a meal. So I'm just gonna go through and really massage this up. So if you guys watched one of my previous videos on EcoGood's house haul, I picked up some of this beeswrap, and then I saw on Pinterest that you can actually make your own beeswraps from home really easily. You just kind of get the beeswax pellets, and then you'll use like a regular one of these kind of like dish rags, and then you'll just put the pellets on top, and then you bake it in the oven, and then it's ready to go. So I don't know, I was kind of thinking that for the next holiday I might make some DIY beeswrap for the family, just kind of cue them onto it in like a fun DIY way. Beeswrap is actually reusable for up to a year, and the most common problem that you can get with it is mold, so you just have to make sure that you're washing it every time you use it, get all of the like food off of it, and then you just wash it with like mild dish soap and some warm or cold water. So So the cut up potatoes are almost ready. I had them covered with aluminum foil for the first 30 minutes, and then for the next 10 minutes or so, maybe longer, I'll go ahead and leave the foil off so that they're really, really crispy on the outside while also mushy and soft on the inside. So when it comes time to assemble your burritos, you're just gonna need some sliced jalapenos, which do not skimp on this, it makes it so, so good. I'm using some Kite Hill sour cream. And then I'm really down with like navy beans right now. I feel like it might also call for like pinto beans. Like you can use different kinds of beans for this, but just a bean that's really like soft and very like buttery would be good for this. And I'm planning on just opening up the cans as I need them, and then putting 1/3 cup of each of the plant-based protein on the burrito, so that we're making sure we're getting all the protein that we need. And then, yeah, this isn't your traditional meal prep where everything is like in a box ready to go, which I like to do, but this one's actually kind of more like a taco bar, burrito bar kind of situation. So we'll go ahead and store the potatoes separately, and then the tofu separately, and when it comes time to put all of this together, you'll just add some salsa, maybe some vegan cheese as well. I kind of also want to toast these because I feel like that would be really yummy. And that's how they have it at Veg Out and Haiku, which I totally recommend that you guys go try if you haven't. It's so, so good. So when it comes to the sweet potato dish, you can actually meal prep that one out a bit more and put that into a container. I'm gonna do half a sweet potato this time around, and then I'm gonna put in a cup of chickpeas, and then I'll go ahead the day of, take out my big bowl of kale and top it with a bunch of kale. And then something else that you can do is top it with some hummus, and then also some Greek goddess dressing or some tahini dressing. Anything that's like Italian or Greek vibe would be really, really good with this dinner meal. Another idea for the breakfast, if you really want that one to be like meal prepped and you don't have time in the morning to make the smoothie, you can also do probably like a Greek yogurt, add in some almond butter, some pumpkin seeds, some chia seeds, some hemp seeds, and then get all of your protein in for breakfast that way as well. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and give it a like. If you want to subscribe to the channel, I invite you to do that now. And if you want to see any future meal prep content or have any suggestions for future content, please drop that in the comment section below also. My husband and I co-founded and co-run Saltshine Creative. We're a marketing company based out of Maui, and we specialize in content creation and then social media elevation. So if there's any content that you'd like to see around branding, content like commercial content creation, starting your own business, anything around entrepreneurship or our lifestyle in any way, let me know. I'd love to just help us all feel supported to shine our brightest together. And until the next video, I am wishing you guys incredible, incredible days ahead. Bye.